Hi there guys, in this video we're going to have a look at the Federal Corvette. This is kind of the second biggest ship in the game currently, other than the Imperial Cutter, which is slightly kind of bigger in some respects. This is in the beta, so the prices are a tenth of what they are. So this would normally be priced around about 160 million, which is not cheap of course. But it is a bigger version of the Anaconda, I would say, in some respects. So let's go and have a look at this ship. Let's just go and buy another one. So before you say why the prices are so low, yes, this is just because it's in a beta. Like I said, it just gave me a good chance to actually look at this ship because it requires a military rank also, which can take a little bit of time, but it's not too bad. Anyway, so our visibility is pretty good. We do have a little bit of restrictions on the left, right over there, and on the right, but generally you have a pretty good field of vision. The radar is obviously at the bottom, it's probably slightly larger. So let's go and have a look at the outfitting. Again, this is in 2.1, so this is why the outfitting page looks different. So let's have a look at the hardpoints. So this ship has one special feature, which it has two huge hardpoints. This is kind of very much different, and most of the other ships that if they do have a huge hardpoint, they have a single one. And with 2.1, we have the introduction of the large or huge beam, pulse and multi-cannons. So anyway, we go on to another. After that we have a class 3, which is a large, then a further 2 class 2, and then a class 1. So next we have utility mounts. That's where we mount our kill warrant scanners, shield boosters, etc. So now let's have a look at the internals. So at the top we have our armour as normal. We have a class 8 reactor, which should give us a lot of power. I don't think you have too much issue with that, giving you 36 megawatts worth of power. This should give you ample amount of power to do whatever you like. Thrusters at class 7, which should mean the ship is going to be quite slow at turning regardless because of its size, but I think it turns around the same speed as an Anaconda. Frameshift drive we get in only 12.8, 13. We're not getting very good levels on the jump drive, so this ship is not going to be particularly very good for exploration. For power distributor we've got a class 8, unlike the Cutter, which has got a class 7. And it's kind of like the Anaconda with its class 7. So for internal compartments, we've got quite a few here. We've got 3 class 7, we've got 2 class 6, we've got 2 class 5, 2 class 4s, a class 3. So all in all, this should give us quite good cargo facilities if we want to use it for trading. It will not beat the Cutter on its trading space, just because that's got kind of a lot of class 8s and stuff like that. As I said, throughout the 3 points, I would say for kind of exploration it's pretty poor. For trading it's better than the Anaconda, but it's not as good as the Cutter. But for combat, I would say this is kind of the souped up version of the Anaconda, primarily because of them 2 huge hardpoints. If we have a look at the external here, we can see it kind of, for me, looks a little bit familiar of the Anaconda. It kind of looks like it's been armoured as such, if you get what I mean. But yeah, I would say it's kind of based on a similar sort of design. And like I said, I would say it's a more of a combat orientated Anaconda, whereas the Anaconda is kind of general all-round ship. Anyway guys, so let's get the ship off the pad and have a look at it in actual action. So this being quite a large ship, it's going to be a bit sluggish in some respects. Like I said, it is actually bigger in the Anaconda. And like I said, when the ships get to this size, you have to be a little bit more wary of how you get through the letterbox. So we've got a speed here of 260 something odd, which is not bad, with a boost of what, 270-ish. So it's not going to outrun a lot of ships, but you kind of expect it on a ship of this size. Like I said, its main focus is them two large hardpoints, well, huge hardpoints, sorry. So let's try and get away from the station and show you where all them hardpoints are, because sometimes it can be quite awkward to know where they actually are. Looks like I've got to do some power management. I think it's because I've installed two huge beam lasers and they do take quite a lot of power. I probably should have put something in a little bit less power usage, so for now I guess I disable, I don't know, just trying to get enough power so I can show you where all these hard points are. Don't know why I've got that on. I guess that's done it. Now I'm going to have to set all the fire groups. I haven't done that. So usually that's why I set them like this. Like I said, I've grouped the two beams together, which are on the very top. These are huge hard points, which, as you can see, drag a lot of power out. Then we have all the others set as multi-cannons for now. So let's show you where they are. So the two big hard points, or the huge hard points, I keep calling them large, but sorry about that. You can see they're at the back of the ship. They're actually just behind the cockpit, which is kind of a bit of a strange position for me, essentially because if I was designing a ship, I wouldn't put the lasers directly behind the cockpit so I could blow myself up in case they went slightly skew with. But anyway, yeah, you can see there the cockpit is just in front. This is going to make it a bit more awkward with projectile style weapons, because they're going to have to travel across the body of the ship to get to the target before they even leave the front of your ship, if you get what I mean. So our next hard points are our two small points, which are at the front. As you can see, they're paired together pretty near the front. So that means we've got 4 hard points on the top of the ship. So next is to have a look on the underside. So next we need to have a look on the underside for the remaining 3 hard points. So you can probably just see that one there. I think that's a large hard point, which is kind of at the front of the ship, so it's got a pretty good position. And finally we have 2 more medium points on the wings, or the left and right side of the ship, which you can just about see there. These do have quite a good coverage, like the Anaconda's one. So all in all, this ship is a pretty good combat ship with its 2 huge power points. You'll be able to take more advantage of them in 2.1 with the new huge points. For trading, it's pretty good. It's better than Anaconda, but it's not as good as a Imperial cutter. And for exploration, well, I would recommend a different ship for that. Obviously this could potentially do it, but it's not really a good idea. Anyway guys, that's a look at the Federal Corvette. Like and subscribe if you like the video. Thanks guys for watching.